You're watching Quays News with Sophie Green and Katie Brown.
Lots in the programme tonight. Here's what's ahead. Girls across the country are boycotting clubs this week in order to raise awareness of the issue of spiking. Grace Clark is at the University of Manchester Student Union talking to student activists.
Closed to the public for 21 years and now a new beginning. We've got lots of news from one of the Salford's most cherished buildings.
What to do if you want a train station in your town? How about build your own? We'll catch up with these volunteers in North Wales.
And start-up students, how it pays to get creative in your uni days.
Welcome to the programme. We start today with the club boycott that's in Manchester tonight. Instead of going out, it's a girls' night in.
It's to raise awareness about spiking. It's been organised by the students at the University of Manchester. And Grace Clark is with them. Grace? Sorry about that, I can't seem to get her right now. So we're going to go over to Liz, who has unfortunately been spiked the other week. Hi Liz, thanks for joining us in the studio. So, can you tell us about your experience?
So I was on a night out in Manchester with my work and we'd been to a couple of bars, had a couple of drinks. It was like the annual Christmas party. We had it early and I remember walking into this one bar and then after that I am completely like memoryless for a good 6 hours until I woke up in hospital the next morning.
Can't you remember anything at all other than that?
Nothing at all. All I've heard is that 2 colleagues from work managed to get me home in a taxi because they were suspicious I'd been spiked, but they weren't 100%. And then later I went up to the toilet and apparently I had a seizure on my landing in the house and my housemates had to call an ambulance.
Oh wow, that must be very scary for you. Do you have any suspicions of who it may have been?
Not all. I've lost 6 hours of memory. Like, I don't know who was about, who was around. I don't know if it's someone I've worked with. I don't know if it's a bar person. I know there's been cases of that in Manchester recently.
Yes, definitely. And with the boycott tonight, what does that mean for you?
I think for me it's really important because it's happened so close to the boycott happening. It shows me that action's being taken and it gives me a bit of confidence that something's going to be done, and it's really important to me.
Yes, definitely. So would you say you're a bit more apprehensive about going into clubs in the future?
Definitely. I've not been out since. To be honest, I'm pretty terrified to go out in case it happens again, mainly because of the massive memory block I experienced. Not being able to piece together my night, remembering getting home, it just scares me because anything could have happened and I wouldn't have known.
Does it have any impact on anything else, as in your studies or anything?
I had to take a few days off uni because I had to go home. I needed a break from just everything. It was just really traumatising, to be honest with you. The fear behind it and what could have happened is what's scariest for me, yeah.
Definitely. And do you know very many people who have been spiked as well?
Yeah, so I know people at uni that have been spiked, and then there's people from other unis that I went to school with in Liverpool, Sheffield, Nottingham. I've been reading cases online constantly of people, not just girls either, boys getting spiked and mugged, and there's so many worse cases than what happened to me, even though what happened was really horrendous.
Definitely, your case sounds very bad and is very, very scary for you as well, especially being a student in a... So where are you from exactly?
So I'm from Sheffield, but at the time of it happening, I was in Manchester on a works do. I'd only been working there a couple of weeks, and like I'd been watching what I was drinking that night because I had uni the next morning. And then I think that was the clear sign that I'd been spiked because I not drank much.
So what actions have you taken after that? Have you gone to the bar people to let them know? Or?
As far as I'm aware, I think my manager, because I work in a bar, has gone to speak to the other bar manager and they're looking into things. But as regards to going to the police, I've not done anything because I don't feel like anything will be done. I think it'd just be a statistic in a book, and I don't want that. If I'm going somewhere to get something done about it, I want something done.
Yes, definitely. So it's probably had a big impact on all of your lives and
Yes,
everyone,
it has, yeah.
especially being a student at university as well.
I mean, like, these are meant to be the most important years and the most fun years of your life, and now I'm scared to go out and enjoy the best bits of uni, I think. So yeah, it's really knocked my confidence.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing your experience
for
with
having me.
us.
And next, are you aware of Buell Hill Mansion? It's one of Salford's finest historic buildings, and it should be open to the public again within 2 years. It's been closed since 2000, but renovation work is now underway. Polly Luscombe has more.
In the past week, restoration has started on Buell Hill Mansion in Buell Park, Salford. The restoration is part of a project which is hoping to see the mansion reopen its doors to the public in 2023, after being shut for over 10 years. Volunteers from the Buell Hill Mansion Association are thrilled with the news.
I feel really excited about it. I think that this is a massive piece of Salford's history which has just been left to basically rot away.
A huge acknowledgement for us and our volunteers that people can see how passionate we are and what a difference we're making.
The group formed in 2018 as part of a protest to stop the area being developed into housing.
The plans, which will be available next month, suggest that there will be amenities such as a cafe and a history room for the public to enjoy.
The group are so confident in the plans that they have now started work on restoring the sensory garden, where they hope to organise events from in the spring.
The sensory garden, for example, has got historical elements, so everything that we do is linked to the mansion. Because the mansion's going to be reopened, we thought we'd do some more work in here because we don't need to campaign for that anymore.
They have also recently been nominated for the Queen's Service Award for their hard work and dedication.
The 3 years of blood, sweat and tears to get to this point has been worth it.
The derelict building will soon enough be a public area for all ages to enjoy once again.
If model railways are your thing, you might want to meet the people who have gone one step further, building an actual train station in a model town. The people of Corwin in North Wales have come together to get the project on track, and Georgie Hebson's been to meet them.
Corwin is a new station being built solely by volunteers ages 16 to 80, which will connect to and from beloved Llangollen Railway. The project started 8 years ago and seems to be heading in the right tracks.
A benefit to Corwin and encourage lots of visitors to come here.
The team are hoping that the station will be open to the public early next year.
I studied at Denver Technical College for civil engineering, so yes, I had a background in civil engineering, although latterly in my job I was a hydrogeologist, which is why we now have a borehole at the east end of the platform to supply water to the water tank for the locomotives. We estimate that the labour input from the volunteers equates to about £1.5 million worth of labour, and without that the project wouldn't have happened.
And we're trying to get the garden ready so that people, when they come to the station and have time to sit and wait for the train, they can sit in a nice green environment, which some of the people from the town itself have provided us with plants.
As well as encouraging people to visit the beautiful Welsh market town, the station has brought the community together.
My husband was a volunteer on the railway for 6 years. Sadly passed away in 2019, and because of COVID lockdown, I wasn't getting out to see people in between and afterwards, so I decided to come and volunteer on groundwork with the railway.
Georgina Hebson, Quays News.
Now for some news making the headlines across the country. It's budget day and Rishi Sunak's announced more spending on transport. The Chancellor says
and for jobs
he'll put £1
is
billion
working
into public transport links in Greater Manchester. Meanwhile, the national living wage will go up to £9.50 from £8.90. The Labour leader was absent from the Commons during the budget announcement. Keir Starmer has COVID. The former opposition leader, Ed Miliband, stepped in.
Speaking of COVID, it's been well reported that the job market suffered during the pandemic. It left many students jobless. But for some, it had a positive side effect. Some became entrepreneurs and now run their own successful businesses. Hannah Patterson reports.
I used to just make clothes in my spare time, really. Like, I was doing it for about 2 years before I actually started the page, and then whilst I was in lockdown and obviously I wasn't working and it was really hard to get a job and things like that, I just ordered like a bulk of like nice fabrics and then started the page, and then people liked it, so I just carried on. I sometimes struggle managing my time for studying and customers, but I've kind of done it now. So I've made a website instead of doing made to order, so if it's out of stock then it stays out of stock until I've got time to restock it and put it back in. I started gaining most of my following from doing collaborations with people, and there was a girl who did a TikTok and a reel, and we got like 500,000 views, so I got like a lot of following from that and a lot of customers from that.
Many others have followed in Danny's footsteps, like Hannah Balkin, who created her lash business during the summer after training to be a lash technician during the coronavirus. Amelia Hitchcock has had major success with her jewellery brand. It has gone viral on TikTok, and she has even got some famous creators to do brand deals for her, which speaks volumes for the hard work of students and their skilled use of social media.
The advice I would give is make sure that you've got enough time to do things and make timetables and plans, and it helps a lot, because if not you'll just get too stressed with trying to balance both.
Student band Common Crisis have perfected the art of time management as they signed a deal with Mass Records. They rehearse multiple times a week whilst attending university in hope of a professional music career.
Mass Records is a government funded company and basically allows young musicians to record and do things for free. Because we've got with Mass Records, they've got a lot of connections with gigs, and so now we can make a lot more money off it. And festivals and stuff. And festivals, yeah. We're really excited for what's in store.
Hannah Patterson, Quays News.
We asked our Twitter followers, what's the best Halloween film? Out of 34 votes, Halloween came on top with 35% of the votes.
The Addams Family came last with only 15% of the votes.
One follower said their favourite Scream is like a horror movie and the parody in one.
So Sophie, what's your favourite Halloween film?
Well, my favourite Halloween film is Hocus Pocus, which got only 29%.
Oh my god, no way. See, I've never seen Hocus Pocus, but I've heard they're doing a remake.
Oh, I'll be definitely watching that because I watch it every year. I'm not a massive Halloween person. I do prefer Christmas, but I've got to definitely go and watch the movies.
Are you doing anything nice for Halloween this year?
I'm going to a Halloween party, which should be good. So obviously, because of the COVID, we couldn't have any last year. So I'm going as a devil. Are you doing anything for Halloween?
Yeah, I'm also going to a party, but I'm going as an angel.
Oh, contrasting.
So when you was a child, what did you used to do? Did you used to do like trick or treating, or did you used to like just dress up?
I used to go trick or treating every year. So like we used to live near an estate, so we used to go around the estate with my friends, and I used to always dress up as a witch as well. What did you used to do?
I used to do similar things. I used to get like a pillowcase and used to decorate it with all my friends, and we used to go around to all the houses and just knock on and stuff, and sometimes people would give us money, but yeah.
As if you're lucky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't even answer the doors though, do they?
I know.
And then other ones, they pop the sweets outside the door and you can just help yourself.
I know, we usually just switch the lights off so it looks like no one's in.
I don't blame you.
No. Remember to keep an eye out on our Twitter @Quays News to see how you can get involved in next week.
That's all from us for today. Goodbye, see you next week.